So, Jason, 2009 was an awesome year for you. Kind of came onto the scene, and tell us a little bit about kind of what does all that mean? Why does all that matter? And how does that kind of translate to now what you're thinking for 2010?
Okay. Well, for me, 2009 was about a lot. It was about setting some huge goals. It was about learning a tremendous amount of information about myself, my prosthetics, my training. It was about a lot of little victories along the way. It was also, in the end, about a lot of disappointment, to be totally honest. Because I came up, as you know, 3 miles short on the finish line in Kona. So I'm, pretty much past all that, and I've decided, I'm going to learn from that experience and go into 2010. And I've been training ever since, and remember that and learn from that experience. And for me, it's all about setting new goals. So I'm setting some new goals, and hopefully when I accomplish those goals, all that disappointment will be washed away.
What was your experience like? And I want to tie these two together. Your experience at the camp, as being your first camp, and we brought you on as a technical advisor for the running staff. And so a lot of new folks at the camp. And how can you take what you just described as a disappointing experience and then relate that to somebody without, I mean, in some regards, you could say that could be a demotivator, right? But how do you, and you're great at being humble. I mean, we know that. And maybe talk about how this couple of days went for you.
For me, it was nice because even though I'm a relatively new athlete, I've only been training 10 months, but people around here, seem to think I'm great. So it's very flattering, and they like to learn from me. So I got to be a coach, even though I've only been training 10 months, albeit training at 100 miles an hour. So for me, that was a lot of fun, being able to meet people who were either in my situation or maybe even a step back from my previous situation, who are just now coming into their own. So I could talk to them and help them work with their training, talk to them about whatever goals they were setting, talk about disappointment, because there's a lot of disappointment along the way. So if you define your success and your failures about coming in first or finishing, you may be setting yourself up for disappointment. So it was nice just to be able to talk to people about those things.
And what's your advice to some of the new athletes that are here, or even that didn't come to camp, but are maybe going to look at this video? What would you tell them?
My advice is from the technical aspects, if you're either a wheelchair athlete or if you're an amputee athlete, whatever your situation is, learn as much information as you can about the technical side, whatever works for you and whatever is best for you in terms of your prosthetics, in terms of your racing wheelchair. All of that information can be obtained from other people. You don't have to relearn all of that. So, and then secondarily, my advice is to train. Just train as much as humanly possible.
And do you train by yourself, or what works best for Jason Gunter?
For me personally, I like to train with a group. That's can be intimidating for a lot of challenged athletes to put themselves sort of out there with a challenged group. But I think if you meet people in your local community, you'll find people who are willing to train with you, and you'll fit within that group somewhere. So from a safety standpoint and from a motivation standpoint, if you can get with a group, I would, in your local level, I would certainly recommend that, because for me, it's been all the difference in the world.
You're not saying just another group of athletes with disabilities. You're saying a group of all, able-bodied and perhaps even other disabled athletes.
Yeah, because the ones with the disabilities, they're kind of a unique species, so it'd be hard. So no, they're all able-bodied athletes, and they actually, you'll find, get just as much enjoyment out of it as you do. So yes, able-bodied athletes, just get in there and mix it up, and it's intimidating, but if you do it, you won't regret it.
Well, we appreciate you coming to camp. We appreciate you helping us out and giving us some advice, and we look forward to watching your success this year. So, Jason, thanks so much.
Thank you.